snacks.
Ooh, what it do, snackers, snackettes, and snack X's? It's your boy Gage. I'm here with Sin,
Yes,
and
sir.
very special guest, Shady Haze,
Hello,
hanging out with us
everyone.
for Loading Snacks
Hey,
Weekly.
Shady.
Hello. Hi, guys. Happy Tuesday.
Shout outs to Sam Kidlet, the
Yes.
hero of HeroCon. Straight up. Sam, I'm so proud of you. I don't know what happened to Shady. She disappeared.
Oh, she's back.
She's back.
Welcome back.
God, it like exited out. Like the app was like died.
Like,
I'm
no.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, it did
you.
not. It was like, no, it did not want to stay. Hi, everyone. And hi, Sam. I got that last
Yeah.
piece. Congrats to Sam, too. I know. I saw
Yeah.
artwork being sold. Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Sounds like she had the greatest time at HeroCon ever, and will now be a permanent member of the team there. Like, they're just gonna always hand out tables to the kidlet, and I like
that's
it.
awesome.
Well deserved.
That's good. That connection and that relationship. Good job.
100%.
Yeah.
1000%. So those of you who are hanging out in the chat may have noticed that Jokes isn't here.
Correct.
And that's because Jokes had to drive far.
Pretty much.
Far today.
So he'll most likely pop up at some point.
Well, he will. I'm positive he will.
Come on,
no. He's fine. He had to work at a different location than the location he normally works at, and it's much further away than normal, so that brings him further in. Tanya, Caver in the building.
Hello, Tanya. Amazing.
Hey, listen, Tanya, Shady and I were having a conversation about you and about how far back we go. Yeah, she didn't know. We go super far back.
Small world. Everyone's
like
connected.
Like a decade plus or something crazy like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no doubt. What's up, Heather? Cuddy, what's up?
J. Robert Deans.
Nah. Hey, listen, if he
Best
had
manager ever.
Hey, listen, I'm positive that at some point that's gonna happen. That like Jokes is just gonna complete. Actually, he may have already. There's probably been a time when like we were in and had to like reach out to him like, hey, are you jumping in? You
get on this call with us, brother.
You know what I mean?
Salute. What's up, Pert?
What's up, Pert? Yeah, J. Robert Deans, you ought to be very proud of Sam. Sam is awesome and deserved all the things. Hey, listen. Here's what I don't. We have a tendency
for too much, Cuddy.
Yeah, like not with the way we give Jokes a hard time, because I need him to concentrate on driving and getting
get into his home safe.
Yeah, for real. He's probably I don't know what happens on Tuesdays, but I'm sure he's listening to wrestling. That's what,
right.
I'm sure he's listening to wrestling or something like that. That's what I'm pretty sure of. So, in Joke's absence, there's the Beacons link
right there for you.
Not the way Jokes drives. What do you mean? Jokes is not the driver to be concerned about. It's Tatiana behind the wheel. She ain't for no games, bro.
Hey, you reach up and grab a little handlebar up top when you start driving?
Nah, bro. Just don't even look. Just look down. Just focus on something else. You know what I'm saying? And let the world go past you very quickly. Yeah. So look, there's our Beacons link because I have to do Jokes' job today because Jokes isn't here. So there's our Beacons link. What I need for you all to do is make sure that you hit that link and you're following us across the board everywhere. We're super busy. There's a lot happening. We're ramping up for a new season of Anime Vault. And so in order to get ready for that, every Thursday we are re-releasing last season. So the episodes are continuing to hit every Thursday. For Anime Vault. So what's coming up this week?
To tell you the truth, I don't remember because it's been a while since I watched season 1. So when I go in to upload it, I will know.
You'll be just
You're
as
gonna
surprised and excited as everyone else.
I knew what the first one was, and I know what they are. I just don't remember the order.
All right, you guys prepare for that surprise on Thursday. Get yourself prepared for that surprise on Thursday. In the meantime, I'm gonna pop this on screen because you also have to go to Shady's Lucas page, and I want y'all to know that first and foremost, Shady, I love you, and I don't know if you know I love you, but I do. You're very special.
I love you guys too. I love you guys too. I love both of you.
You remember
They're the first people I met when I first started cosplaying. I think
that's what I was just gonna
media
say.
People I met.
I think
Katsucon, right? 2018.
You know what I think it was? I think it was NovaCon. I think we may have run into each other at KatsuCon. And I think
I went to I did went to NovaCon when it first started because I never went to a con. I went to NovaCon because my friend Matt was like, I want to go, and I'm like, I've never been to a con, so I'll go. Like, I'm a nerd, but I've never been to a con. But I remember like seeing you at Katsucon because my sister came and we took like a picture, but I don't know where that photo is. But it was like that was our first photo, and then we had another photo at All Star Comic Con. We had blonde hair, and then we took another photo at Awesome Con. So it's like
yes. Nova sounds right. Nova sounds right.
I'm almost positive it was Nova. We were doing a lot of running around, oddly enough, because we had a table.
Yeah, I'm about to say, even though we had a table, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember because that's the first time I met Lainey, kind of like, or saw her from a distance. Robbie too, was from a distance.
Oh, Robbie.
Good
old Robbie.
So oh man, Robbie.
Good people though. Definitely good people. So listen, there is a Patreon update that is coming. Again, we'll let you know. We're prepping for it to hit in August, so there will be a change, and we'll be pushing some information out because we've had some people reaching out to us about other ways that they can help support us through Patreon by doing things like being able to pay. Like, we've actually had people who are like, can I just pay for the whole year instead of dealing with month to month and stuff like that? And so we want to be able to do that for people. So we have to make some changes to the way that some of that stuff works. So that is coming. We have some new tiers that are coming that we're pretty excited about revealing, along with that means some new content that we're excited about pushing forward. While we're talking about things that are upcoming, might as well just tell you now, get yourself prepared, Sin, because movie of the month for July.
Oh god! Oh man, that's I haven't seen that since it released.
And that might be a good thing. I don't know.
I don't remember it.
I can honestly say I don't know if I've ever seen this one. So
I'm gonna tell you what, as big of a Jackie Chan fan as I am, I know I haven't seen this.
Yeah, this one was under the radar for me.
I saw it because my dad saw it and was like, "We're gonna watch this." I'm like, "Okay," but I don't remember it. I just know that it's Jackie Chan and some spy thing, and that's about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Marcus, what up?
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm pretty sure Jokes picked this movie.
This was Jokes' pick, yes.
So be prepared for Jokes to host that one when we have the discussion about that. The discussion for Snatch, which was June's movie of the month, is live. Not there it is, J. Robertines. Now you know.
Yep.
It was Jokes. That discussion is live across all podcast platforms and in the Lotus Nights Movie Club chat. It does explain a lot, doesn't it? See, here's one of the things that y'all may not quite know. So I'm gonna fill y'all, and this is a little inside baseball. I know that y'all know that we give Jokes a hard time about the difference in his age and our age and stuff like that, right? But like, we have conversations many times about like how Jokes doesn't know some of the stuff that like say me and Sin know when it comes to like kung fu flicks and like really
Yeah.
great fight scenes and stuff like that. Like
And-
we've actually even discussed doing a show where we just watch and react to fight scenes that Sin and I already know are incredible fight scenes, and just watch them for the first time.
Because I can tell you right now, we would have never picked this movie. We would have never seen it. Never.
I would never have picked
out of Jackie Chan's library. Not even
the tuxedo,
close.
bro.
No, we
Yeah,
both
that
knew what
was-
number one pick was.
Marcus, Memento is one of my favorite movies of all time, period. Though not everybody is prepared for that, but that probably would make it a good movie. We'll take it into consideration. I'm gonna be looking for some suggestions because we rounded out the majority of the year, but the last couple movies of the year, we're gonna partner with all the folks who are in movie club so that we can make some decisions about the last couple of movies for the year. So keep that in your pocket. Hold on to it when it's time for us to do that. Some of those things are connected, J. Robert Deans. I want to say, some of those things are connected. The lack of breadth and age. Okay, so listen, Sin, you have a job to do.
Yes, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting
What's
with
up,
Anthony
Ty?
Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, and Meticulous Skin. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your support. All right, so check this out. Now that we've done that, we can talk about Shady. Let's focus on Shady.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Little old me?
Who,
Me?
me?
This whole segment? Just kidding.
Yeah, I mean a whole segment. I mean, look,
Alright.
we love you and love having you on the show.
Family.
But part of the reason why we wanted to make sure we had you on during this month is because it's Pride Month.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's important to you. It's important to us.
The Thin Man.
Hey, listen, J. Robert
What's that?
Deans, you keep suggesting, and
What
we'll
the-
keep voting.
I've never heard of that.
And just see what happens. And that's probably why people aren't voting for it when he suggests it. That doesn't mean it's not good.
Oh, you should watch The Black Phone if you guys like horror movies. Such a good
I
movie.
keep hearing that. Sin
Oh,
doesn't
no.
I
like
saw it.
Ethan Hawke
Whoa! It is literally such a great thriller, just movie overall. I'm just like, it's one of my favorite movies this year, and then in general, like it's such a good movie.
straight up.
Okay.
Come on.
It's not scary. It's just thriller. It's more like
All right, if it's just a thriller, I can do
yeah.
that.
It's like
I can do a
it
thriller.
gives me like that Law and Order vibe with more like mystery and thriller.
Okay.
It's not like horror. There's no gore or like
All right.
monsters or whatever.
I watch it when it finally comes home when I can get my hands on it. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm about to say, if you think you can break talk Sin and watching something you already said is scary, I don't know if there's any talking him back down.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Not happening.
I love horror movies. Hello.
Hey, to each his own.
Oof.
That's cool.
Oof. Yeah, listen, special shout out to Mina. Thanks for jumping in and hanging out
Hey,
with us.
Mina.
Hey, look, Sam, when you took film study, your dad's oldness popped out. Does that mean that like he was suggesting or saying things to you, or does that mean that
Probably.
you had already been forced to watch older things and so you had a certain level of knowledge? What does that mean? I'm looking for some clarification. Shady.
Yes.
Cosplayer extraordinaire.
Yes, perfect. You're just getting on to that.
Oh yeah.
How long have you been watching the show?
You just figured out that Sin don't do horror movies?
I don't do horror, and I do not feel ashamed about it. I don't do it.
Oh, so you don't
Blank.
wait? You don't like Haunted Forest either? Like as like a group, let's walk around.
Yo, Sin.
Ooh, I was about to cuss so hard I had to catch myself. I was going to hell no.
Oh man,
Shady.
imagine you like at a Haunted Forest. It's like
Nope.
Like
Nope.
people.
That's not a thing.
Nope.
It would be great TV.
Okay.
That probably would, but
it ain't gonna happen.
It's so much fun. I have to cover my ears when I go.
You're right, J. Robert Deans. That was not a good phrase. Sam says, like when puppies get excited to see their owner, I would talk about a movie he really liked, and he started talking about cool stories behind the scenes of it. I mean, that's part of why we like him here. He does that a lot here. Whenever we're talking about movies, he's like, I know how A, B, C, and Z happen.
It's all good, Perp. I don't do horrors, but I'll do a good thriller. We're watching them right now on our Discord, anime thrillers. Like, so,
Oh,
Hey,
thrillers. Okay, then. Yeah, this is a
yeah,
thriller. I like
yeah, I can
thrillers
do a
more than
thriller. That's
horror.
easy. Yeah, just
Yeah,
not
you already
horror.
told him it was scary though, Shady. It's a little too late. That's
Ah,
what I said.
man.
A little too late. I think we pushed him off.
You gotta
I
wait.
mean,
I'll wait
he
for him to watch
almost.
it on demand, and then he'll let me know. Watch in the
All
daylight.
right, let's do it. I'm down. Look at him. Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. Look how.
I will have plenty libations. I will say that
Okay.
if that's gonna happen.
Well, I mean that goes without saying though. That's kind of like par for the course. I don't know if that really makes it super different.
Got it for that one.
Um, Shady. I want to make sure that I acknowledge Marcus's comment about you being like having the greatest Winnie the Pooh gear.
Thank
You know what I'm
you.
saying?
Oh,
Sponsored by
for
Hot
real?
Topic.
Yeah. You
I
know what?
love Winnie the
Speaking
Pooh.
of hot topic,
I love Winnie the Pooh. I have a lot of Funko Pops of Winnie the Pooh
do you?
and collection. Like I have
Does
bags.
that go all the way back to childhood for you?
Yes, it does. Yes. So my
Yeah.
first stuffed animal, or like
Was it Winnie the
slash like
Pooh?
I never yeah, it was Winnie the Pooh. I don't have because some toddlers or babies they have like security blankets and stuff. I got like my first stuffed animal, like it was Winnie the Pooh. So watched the shows like the old school shows, like everything, all the Winnie the Pooh adaptations. I
Let's
loved it.
let's have a serious conversation right now.
Oh,
What? Who is the best Winnie the Pooh character?
the best.
Yes. Not who's your
Easy.
favorite. Who's the best?
Who's the best character?
Hmm.
Oh man, that's hard. I'm still gonna go with Pooh. I gotta go with Winnie the Pooh. He's my favorite, but he's also the best. I mean, I love him, and I also love Tigger. So,
Do you hate Rabbit?
I think Rabbit is funny. I don't hate him because he's very OCD, which sometimes I'm OCD, but he's like very like OCD, but also controlling and like a little loony a
Who's
little bit. But
who's
I
cuter,
don't hate him.
Piglet or Roo? Who's cuter?
Who's cuter? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I love Rue. I'm gonna pick Rue.
All right. So Roo. Um. Who who is the cringiest? Al or Eeyore?
Who's the cringiest?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So there's J. Robert Deans with that
See,
old
I
behind
can't
the
pick
scenes.
because
Yeah, yeah.
it's hard for me to pick because I don't find either cringy.
Okay.
The two
Neither one you
characters
find
are
cringy.
archetypes of our brain chemistry. I know, I heard of that too, like
Mhm.
psychology wise. Or, I don't find either cringy. I feel
Neither
like,
one's cringy. Okay.
no. I mean, oh gosh, I forgot the name. The bird. There's like in the show Winnie the Pooh, like the old school show. Like I was watching it on Disney Plus because I've never seen like all of them.
Hmm.
Um, there's an episode where Rabbit like raises some bird. I think the bird is like his kid. That bird is. I don't like that bird.
Yeah,
Cassie.
I don't.
No, no. Is it? No, it's not. That's not her name.
Could
Trying to
be.
see. It starts with a C. Could be Cass, but
Uh,
my sister's name. Oddly enough, but that bird was annoying. It was like a teenager, just didn't want to listen, and I'm just like, and the voice was just. But yeah, I don't find any of the characters cringy at the moment.
okay. No, no
No
cringy, no
doubt.
cringy characters.
But did you
J.
hear about
Robert
like the Winnie the
Dean.
Pooh? The
What?
Winnie the Pooh
The
adaptation,
horror
like it's
one?
gonna be. Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
Yes.
what the heck? I still want to watch
Yeah,
it.
because like it's available now, like for people to use. Winnie the Pooh is that
Yeah,
old.
it's like a public. They're gonna eat
It's in
Eeyore,
public
which is
domain now.
weird.
Um, J. Robert Dean's. What does Tigger represent in our psyche? That's what I would like to know. Is
I
what
feel
Tigger
like Tigger
represents?
has like ADD a little bit, and I feel like he's so
Okay,
hyper. I
could
think
be.
that's maybe that.
I like it.
No
Yeah.
idea. I've never like actually got too deep into it, but
That's
I've
it's
read
okay,
things where it's
manic.
like
Maybe
it
manic because
mirrors us.
I don't
Yeah,
think ADHD or
ADHD,
ADD was a thing at the time that these characters were written.
manic.
So manic maybe
Okay. I
would
mean, I've
be.
seen there was like a Winnie the Christopher Robin um adaptation with Ewan McGregor, which was cute. And there's also a movie called Goodbye Christopher Robin, which was really deep in like how the story, became, and how, like, when he grew up, he was like, he sold like the brand because he like hated it because it became so mainstream.
Yeah.
So there was like 2 different adaptations, which was like mind blowing. But the horror one I'm excited for too, because I don't know what they're gonna do with the characters, or I guess they dress up like the characters. I have no idea.
I don't know. It's somebody, making a low budget horror movie
Oh,
with
it's a low budget. Okay, I
because
thought it
they
was like
think.
mainstream. I'm like,
Nah,
if
it's like
it's
an
low
indie.
budget, then okay, nah.
Yeah, it's like an indie project that somebody just did,
Okay.
and because Winnie the Pooh was in the public domain, they were able to it just kind of
Like,
blew up.
let's
You know what I
grab
mean?
that. Let's grab that brand. Yeah,
Yeah,
makes sense.
they jumped on it, which is that's cool. Um, okay, Shady. I want to talk about this. I saw that you posted. You did a partnership. You mentioned Hot Topic with the Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
You did a partnership with Hot Topic. I want to look at there were some pictures that were on your IG. It's a pretty dope shirt.
Yes, our story, our pride. So I
Yeah.
did their campaign last year too, and then this year, they picked out, like they set out a campaign, and whoever wanted to like do it, they get to do it. So basically just representing LGBTQ, and I was
Yeah.
like excited to do it. So I mean, I love the shirt because it was just more about storytelling. Like they wanted people to tell their story, like whether it's a coming out story or their first like interaction in like having a celebrity crush, or like a crush on someone like at
Yeah.
school or something. So any like story that represented you like in your awakening or whatnot. So I was excited. So yeah, I did it. And I
So
mean, I put my story in there, but I made it really brief. I was just like, oh, my first like crush was Amy Jo Johnson. So that was like
yes, I was gonna
easy.
ask you about that
I feel like everybody had a crush on her.
because it was like, who was your first gay crush? And
Yeah.
here's the thing I found interesting. I'm
Yeah.
gonna. You said Amy Jo Johnson from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Then you said, then came along Joe Jonas,
Yes.
and then came Haley Steinfeld.
Yes.
And did you say you're sorry? Who was Amy Jo Johnson? Sam Kidlet? You Google it.
What?
Google it.
Oh gosh. Okay, so you know when Power
2016.
Rangers came out, I was I didn't watch the
Hold
original.
on,
I
hold on,
watched
hold on.
rewatch, but
Give
anyways,
me a second, Shady.
go
This
ahead,
is
go ahead,
this is
go
what
ahead.
I want to know. Does Joe Jonas count as a gay crush?
No, I just put it in there because I had a crush on
Because
him
that
when I
was
was
the
like in
order.
my high school. Yeah, it was. I don't know.
I was
I
just
think
wondering
I
if
was
there was
like,
a
oh my
thing
gosh,
that I missed.
let me put all my crushes on the list. No, I mean, no, he's not. He doesn't count as a gay crush, but I guess it is more of when I was younger. Like I was very tomboyish. Very, parents were very like open. They're like, you can wear whatever you want, do whatever you want, as long as you're not
Yeah.
doing anything bad. So I always thought
Yeah.
that I was gay when I was growing up. Like
Pop that up.
always, I
Yeah.
came out.
I like it.
Oh gosh, that's funny. So I always thought I was gay, and I am obviously, but then I have like crushes on like certain celebrities. So Joe Jonas was like my first like male crush when I was in
She
high
saw Joe
school.
Jonas and said, "Let me rethink this for a second."
Yeah.
But I love Haley. I love Haley too. Like I love Haley's work. I think she does great work in media. Like she played Emily Dickinson, and
Yeah.
she does a lot of like queer characters. And I think Kate Bishop might be queer in the MCU, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, he's like my
That
own.
wouldn't
Like
surprise me.
I think he's my only like obsession with like a man. So and he's very too like I think in mainstream media with Harry Styles and Joe Jonas, they're now diving into I guess being more feminine with like getting their nails done, being more flashy
Yeah.
with their clothing, being more revealing, wearing purses. You see people wearing like men used to just wear totes like some, but now
Yeah.
they're wearing like fanny packs and purses and like actual like bags. So I love his style and his like aesthetic. Same with like hairstyles too. So
I
I
dig
think
it.
Joe was like,
He stood out.
yeah, like I mean even like with saying with like K-pop, like the artists. Like I was talking to my cousin about this, but with K-pop artists, they're very feminine, you know, like the way that they look, a lot of makeup, their hair, everything is like high maintenance. And I think
Straight up, yeah.
American men are getting that, you know, um high
Yeah, I
maintenance
think
thing
that
now too. It's
some of
very
the
streamlined. So yeah.
that mainstream like K-pop, the the effect. I can remember when like K-pop first became a thing in my house, and I remember being like, okay, listen, this is, and these were things that I had to learn, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
Culture shock.
you know, all male groups, they all were wearing blush, liner,
Hmm.
lipstick, and but they also though would have actual surgeries to like change their
Oh yeah, it
jawline
is. It
and
is.
stuff
It
like
is
that.
definitely a thing
Yeah,
with K-pop artists. We were talking, and a brand like Shiseido.
yeah,
There's a thing, it like helps whiten your skin. So like with that, you
that's the
know, a
thing
lot of
too.
people are like, we want to be lighter in skin color. So like Asian
Yeah,
culture, you know, everybody wants to be lighter because you know it's Asian countries and islands are, you know, it's hot. You know, it's humid. It's like 100 degrees, and you know you tan. But of course, when you see on TV and media, they're lighter skinned. They wear makeup. You know, they
hmm,
get surgeries, they get fillers, whatever. So I think now like American culture is like, oh yeah, we wanna be more feminine now, and you know look like this.
yeah. I mean,
So yeah, that's part of it.
their culture doesn't look at masculine and feminine the same way
Yeah.
that like Western culture looks at
Yes.
masculine and feminine. They just look at it as like a beauty standard, as opposed to
Hmm.
looking at it as this is masculine versus this is feminine. They just consider these particular things to be more beautiful than these particular things, and it's not
Yeah. Beauty
necessarily
standards
about
is like to be lighter in skin and like very pale. That's why they're like, you
yeah,
know, very pale and like what you said, blush and like lip gloss, all that.
yeah, yeah. It's a very interesting thing. Again, that dynamic. Just again with my kids being into it. Zayn been into it for years, and so like digging into that dynamic and kind of just learning about it, you know, just kind of opens it. It just kind of opens things up, and when you recognize that, like, man, there are some things that we could learn from concepts like that,
Yeah.
right? Like getting away from having to be so dead set on what's masculine versus what's feminine,
Hmm.
as opposed to being set on just what we consider being what we like, you know what I mean, or what we're into. And
Exactly.
I think beauty standards as a whole can definitely be a dangerous rabbit hole, no matter how you
Agreed.
slice it. Um, but I think that more than anything, to some extent, it's about being comfortable. You know what I mean? Just in who you are and how you are.
Hmm.
And about people in general just getting to a point where they're, you know, more accepting of things that aren't necessarily them or for them, but like it's not,
Yep.
you know what I mean.
Agreed.
um I want to show, there was a quick video I pulled from your IG. I want to play real quick if that's cool.
Mm.
um
Gotta read.
so I just tell me a little bit about what that was, what was going on there, what was happening. I
Yeah.
saw some of our other good friends who were
Hmm.
there who
Yeah.
posted
Of
about
course.
it.
So I tried like I tried to like host like a LGBTQ like event, and I tried to do it last year, and it was just like invite only, like just very small because you know COVID.
COVID, yeah,
We had a studio, and they're like only 3 people, 4 people. I'm like, okay, great, that's fine. But this year, since we're outside and the weather was amazing, actually at Baltimore that weekend,
hmm,
it was like 70s, but it was breezy and like the sun was kind of down, so it wasn't like extremely hot. So this was just a public meetup. Like, you know, you can come in fashion, you can come in cosplay, whatever. And people did both. Like
yeah,
cos some people cosplay characters that were LGBTQ, but also people who are LGBTQ themselves. And some people just did fashion or their own
yeah,
take on like whatever costume that they wanted to make that represented them. So
yeah,
yeah, we did a meetup with a friend of mine, Eric, and you know my sister came too, and it was like maybe 10 of us just you know hanging out, having a
yeah,
photo shoot, and then after these like meetups, we went to go get food too. So and
yeah,
just talked about like you know upcoming cons, like what are your plans? But I like having this just because so we can like, connect and get photos and
Yeah,
just create content. But I want to do it bigger next year. Like I really want to like start ahead of time. I feel like
yeah,
with
Mhm.
2022, it's like everybody's playing catch up. So next year I
that's cool.
actually want to
Just
have like, like a bigger event because it was such a great turnout, but I really want to like sit down and actually talk to people and be like, hey, so, what does pride mean to you? Because, we don't really have that conversation. You just, oh yeah, you're gay, you're a lesbian, you're bisexual. But this is just a photo shoot. So I really want to like deep dive and like talk about like everyone's stories and just connect in that level.
that's actually it's actually funny you said that because literally my next question for you
I know.
is what does pride mean to you? And I do want to acknowledge that Tanya's a little salty that she missed the
I
invite.
know. You
Tanya
said
was
that
a
you had a
little
wedding.
busy
You had a
shooting for
wedding.
DC
I know.
Pride and Baltimore
I know.
Pride and shooting weddings and stuff like that. Listen, if y'all don't know, hey
Yeah,
Tanya, do me a
I'm
favor, make
set.
sure you drop your link in the chat
Yes,
for me, please.
because her
Um,
stuff is top
yeah.
tier.
As a matter of fact, also while we're at it, Kidlet, since you decided after you
Yes.
sold after your piece got sold at Heroes Con for nearly $800, that you finally
Sheesh.
decided to join Twitter. Can you if you want people to follow you, post
Drop
your
it
new
down.
Twitter link, Sam.
Yeah.
But Tanya, yeah, definitely post your link there. Um, what? They'll probably divorce. Could have ditched the wedding. Hey Tanya, that's okay.
Bro,
I could have been
that's
I could have been
wild,
standing
yo.
on the rainbow. Um,
Oh man,
Kidlet, you did
that's
great
funny.
things. Kidlet is what you did, and,
Yeah.
and we just want to acknowledge that. Um, yeah, Shady, what does pride mean to you?
I always like have different like answers, and like I try to like, you know, either it's like a long story or a short story. But for me, it's like being just proud of who I am, like my authentic self.
Yeah,
Just because, you know, when you're in the LGBTQ community, like now, I feel like now it's easier than like 10 years ago when you come out. I feel like now it's easier because it's so accepting and you know so many people. Like if you get a group of 10 people, I feel like 8 out of 10 of them are queer, and that could be anything. They could be asexual, bisexual, gay, just queer, whatever.
yeah,
Um, and it's like so like everybody's like supportive and like loving. They don't see this as, oh, you're different. It's more like, oh yeah, it's like we're all like the same. We just all have
yeah,
different stories and different backgrounds. So for me, it's just being like proud of who I am and being my authentic self, because I have like I had that privilege where I was like raised in a household where my sister is super supportive, my parents are super supportive. Just also being Filipino, like 80% of people in the Philippines are, in drag and gay, and they perform, and a lot of like my male cousins are drag queens and they're
yeah,
gay. So my parents weren't like, oh, this is weird or this is new or it's, they're not accepting of it. It was
yeah,
like they're very like open to it, and I've been bullied in school, like middle school and high school, and that's it happens, and I always want to give like advice to people who want to come out, or they want to like talk about their story, and
yeah,
I try to like give them advice that is beneficial on how they feel about themselves and how proud they are with themselves as well, because it's never easy. Like maybe it was
right,
easy to come out to my parents, but it was harder for me to come out to like certain family members, and other friends, because I don't know their reaction.
sure,
But from coming out, it was great because like I can like take a breather and be like, all right, so I don't have to like tiptoe and like dress a certain way or talk a certain way. I can just do whatever I want. And
yeah,
being in cosplay was great because cosplay helped me with that, because I was like, oh, you can dress up as any character, and majority of the characters I dress up as are male characters, and it's not like I
yeah,
want to be them. I just like love them. Like I love the character, their
yeah,
background story. They're attractive, whatever. Um, but like other hobbies, it's like it's very like, oh, if you're playing this sport or this, of course you're like, oh yeah, you have to be in this team because you're a girl. You have to be this because you're a boy. But being in cosplay, it's like very like there's certain things you can't do in cosplay. But if you're a girl, you want to cosplay a male character. If you're a guy, you want to cross dress. Like it's all welcome for everyone. So
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly is a much more open and inviting environment, right? At conventions and comic cons and things like that. And like Sam said, she's happy that you were in an environment, where your family
thank you.
was
Not wearing
supportive.
my glasses, so I'm having a hard time seeing. That's why I'm like squinting.
Okay.
I'm just like,
It's all
wait,
It's
good.
what
okay.
is that?
Again,
Thank
your
you.
lighting is perfect. So when you get closer to the camera, we just see you better. That's fine. It's cool.
Oh, thanks.
Um, I did put a link to Tanya's Instagram. Again, she's a great photographer, so you can click that link and please go
Yes.
follow Tanya. Again, Tanya and I have been friends for a very 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 long time.
Yeah, I'm gonna work with her
She's a good people.
soon in the
She's
fall.
she's
I'm trying to
she's
figure out my
family.
concept.
Um, Sam isn't in a loving and happy and supportive environment. Is that J. Robert Dean's? She's
She's
still,
stuck with me.
listen,
I don't
Oh
believe that.
no!
the only problem with being stuck with you, J. Robert Dean's, is how often you disagree with what I like. That's like it's not that.
Which is 95% of the time.
Oh yeah,
Oh
boy.
goodness.
Have said random question, but our family's more supportive now, than before, or is it hard to tell? You think that there's
Um, I feel like when I feel like people can change over time, so I think people are now supportive than before.
sure?
Like we had Obama as president. We had like all these. Obama wasn't for gay marriage before, and then
Yeah,
he grew. His mindset changed and whatnot. And I'm not gonna like say like, oh, he didn't like gay marriage before. Like people change, and I think that's we have to be okay with that. That people are changing, and people are
yeah,
people apologize and they really show their change not through words but through action.
yeah,
That's fine. But I think family now is super supportive than back then. I mean, like with what's going on in the world because it's very chaotic with laws and things like that.
yeah,
I feel like that's because it's the older generation. I feel like with Gen Z and younger millennials and older millennials, I think they're more liberal and open minded than who's voting in the laws and whatnot. They're older,
yeah,
so they have a different mindset, different religion, different beliefs, whatnot.
yeah. I mean, I certainly think when we have our like being comfortable being a geek conversations and we talk about like how much easier it is just to be a geek now, just to like love the stuff you love
Hmm.
without necessarily feeling like you have to hide it. We consistently run into people who do feel
Yeah.
like they have to hide it. So, um, I certainly do think that does depend on your environment, Hef. Um,
Mhm.
but
Cosplay perfect. Everybody's a geek.
well, yeah. Um, Tanya said I had the opportunity to shoot Youth Pride, and it was so eye opening. So many youth and parents celebrating and partying. I mean, like 500 people in attendance
Yes,
between 12 and
that's
17.
awesome.
Yeah. I
That's
mean, look,
awesome.
I definitely think like I'll tell you like so like my daughter, my youngest daughter, at her school, they have an after school club that is about supporting. It's an allied club. It's
Oh, that's
about
cool.
support. Yeah, it's a great club. And she asked, she was like, I want to be, you know what I mean? I want to join this club and be a member of it. So they would meet like every Tuesday, and they would just talk about things that are going on, ways that they can help people get acknowledged, stuff like that. And I would say that some of that probably comes from her watching us do stuff like being comfortable being a geek.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Which is great.
yeah, and just kind of wanting people to be free to be who they are, and opening up to being understanding of the people around. So when you decide to start really putting your foot to it and prepping whatever your event's going to be next year, you just got to let us know
Yeah,
so
I
we can
will.
so we can so
I'm
we can
letting
come
you
out.
guys know for a lot of events next year because they're gonna be because right now I'm doing like more like meetups
Yeah,
because it's still new.
Mm-hmm.
But next year I really want to like elevate it into like more like event focus
yeah,
and more deeper conversations, people talking to each other, especially in our community because I love when we're all connecting. I don't like drama. I like when people are just having fun. They're talking about things that they're passionate about, what sparks joy in them. Because
hmm,
if nothing, if a topic that you're talking about or a hobby that you like, if it doesn't spark joy in you, then it's like, why are you doing it? So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
sparks joy in me, and I know other people, so I want to like get everybody who are like positive, having fun, just creating together. So yes, I will let you know,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Please do. Have said,
Absolutely.
I think naturally that ages are great is great to have that support. Um, I know at 12, 13, 14, hormones are definitely raging, and having that outlet to communicate is phenomenal. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maya says, Shady, do you feel you get the same respect and acknowledgement as male cosplayers?
Um, it depends. It depends. Um, like recently, like right now, Instagram has like the pride hashtags and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
there has been a lot of like backlash from people who are like either bots or random people like hating on people who are in pride, like in
Sure.
the photo shoot. But in general, like with cosplaying, because I'm cosplaying male characters, it depends. Like I get like comments, like positive comments. I haven't gotten negative, but I do get like backhanded comments or
Mm-hmm.
um competitive comments where it's like they're not trying to be negative because they don't want that conversation or that comment to be out there because it can get screenshotted. Like I can screenshot it. So they
Yeah.
like compliment, but then like they don't compliment, and it's a weird competitive thing. And I mean, it that gives me like pleasure as well because I see other male cosplayers. I see what they make and how they look like physique wise or costume wise, and I try. I like that friendly competition, but
Yeah.
I don't get too deep about it. But I've had like other male cosplayers who are like very like backhanded about it, and I'm just like, this is weird. I feel awkward. I'm
Mm.
just gonna not reply.
I mean, look,
So,
I'll tell you that I
and I'm
see.
small too. I'm small too. I mean, people think like I'm freaking like teenager, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I
But
don't think
no.
I think if like I don't see that you. I think there are different cosplay communities, like there are with everything,
Yes,
and
there's clicks and everything. Yes.
yeah, but I guess what I mean is like there are people who are very very into the competitive scene of cosplay,
Hmm.
and I feel like in that realm, it's like watching Dance Moms or something. Maybe sometimes, like
Oh yeah, like
you know what I
competitors.
mean?
They're very competitive.
Yeah,
Cosplay
which I mean,
competitors. I'm
it's,
not.
I
I'm
mean,
not
like
into that.
right, it's
Yeah, I'm
like that
not.
in any scene.
I
That's what I'm saying.
respect
Like
them though because holy crap! Like at AwesomeCon, there's so many people. Their
yes,
builds and whatnot.
incredible. Yeah,
I'm all about having fun and like trying
Yeah.
to like sometimes I try to make it accurate, like the suits and the armor to the character, but I put my
yeah,
own twist to it. But I think more on my side when I get the backhanded comments is because like if someone has like a costume and they paid like X amount of money and then they're like, oh, you made yours, and they get like a little like competitive about it, or like people doing the
mhm,
same characters, and I'm just like, no one owns a character. Like for we can all do it.
right. Well, somebody
So
owns the character,
yeah,
but it ain't.
but
But
we
it's none of
don't.
the
We don't.
cosplayers.
None
So it's
of
like,
us.
Mm-hmm.
None of us. None of
yeah.
us.
I mean,
So
unless you're cosplaying Winnie the Pooh, and then in that case, it's public domain, and you
Hey,
can turn it into a
yeah,
horror if you
there
want
you
to.
Disney
go.
bound it.
Um, yeah. Hey, look. Before I change directions,
Mm.
why you sin? Why do you do that? Why do you giggle like that?
Because I have a very strong feeling of the direction you're going to change it when the time comes, and I'm just laughing right now,
You know what
just
it
to get
is.
it out. Yes, to get it out my
Uh
Marion,
system.
what up, cousin?
That's all.
Hey, listen. Before I change directions completely, it's time for curveball.
Hey,
Check this out. This is for the
Curveball.
chat too. This is for the chat too. Yeah, I don't. A lot of times I don't involve the chat directly, but they usually give me responses anyway. So I'm just gonna throw this out there. Here's what I want to know: what is a dream property currently owned by Disney that you would like to see them make a Disney Plus show out of or resurrect? Any
Disney
property.
Plus show.
I mean, and when I say that,
Shoot.
I mean think about the fact that like Disney owns like Aliens versus Predator, Die Hard. Like clearly they're doing stuff with The Simpsons, but like, is there a Disney owned property that you would actually
Mm.
like to see them turn into either a Disney Plus show or resurrect in some manner, whether it's the theater or
It has to be Disney owned property. It can't be like Disney, like a Disney movie.
but I would
Like for
imagine
example, I mean, like for example, like Hercules is getting a live action movie, and that's
correct.
Disney.
Which is
So
yeah,
something like that. Okay.
it could be something like that. Like if you're Steve, I'm all about it. My man said a
What
gargoyle
is
is
it?
now. Steve,
Oh,
answer
that would
this.
be great.
Animated? Cause I need to know. Cause
I'd say
I
both.
need to know if you want it
Animated would be great.
animated or if you want
A live
live
action
action
CGI.
or a CGI. How do you want to do it? But I would
That would be
absolutely love.
cool.
I would really love to just see them bring gargoyles just like back. Darkwing
Yeah,
Duck.
Gargoyles was great.
He said straight up live action. All right,
Gosh,
so
man, I'm trying to think
are
because
we
I love.
actually? Who's playing Xanatos? I mean, who's playing Xanatos?
Okay. Sorry, I can't hear you.
I was asking
Xanatos.
Steve who's playing Xanatos if we're doing a live action.
Oh, you're asking Steve.
Yeah, if we're doing a
Voodoo.
live
Oh,
action
Voodoo
gargoyles,
cosplay. Shout out to Voodoo cosplay. Oh my
straight
homies.
up.
Yeah. Answer that, Steve. He knows. He loves gargoyles. He's
Hey, me
obsessed,
too.
and he
Me
loves
too.
Teenage
Benedict
Mutant Ninja
Cumberbatch.
Turtle.
Benedict Cumberbatch playing Xanatos. My man said I gotta
Gotta
brainstorm the
brainstorm.
cast. Please do that.
But for
Think about
me, okay,
that.
so like I love a Goofy movie. Um,
Okay.
like I love that movie in general. I
Jason.
don't know if I want a Disney Plus series on it, but like X-Men is having an animated series, and that was my
Yeah.
dream. So that's like my dream that it's coming back. I think next year or this fall. So I'm glad
Yeah.
that's coming back. But what I heard was each episode. I don't know if you guys know this. Each episode is focused on a certain character. Every time the episode starts, you have to pick a character. So the first episode, I think, is Jubilee. And then the second episode, you pick a character, and that's going to be like their story or whatever.
So
Goofy movie
here's
is a
what I can
classic. I
tell you.
love a Goofy movie. I love it. I
There are
watch
things
it
I
all the
can't
time.
tell you. That's what I can tell you. I can tell you that there are things I can't tell you because,
No live
but we
action,
know
no Channing
we do
Tatum.
know people who are working on the X-Men '97 show.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So it's definitely happening. Pauly
Well, I would
Shore,
love a Cyclops live action movie.
a live action movie could
Sir,
be good.
don't hate on
A
my
Gambit
man.
live action.
I'm sorry.
Don't hate on my man.
Star
I
Wars,
did love
Rose's backstory.
Chip and Dale
I don't.
live action movie was great. So I mean,
I didn't watch it
if
yet, but
they
everybody keeps saying
I,
that.
it was
I didn't
great. It
watch
was
it
great.
either.
I love the nostalgia of it.
Okay.
I think a Bug's Life. If they put Bug's Life as a mini short,
Mm,
that'd be so cute. I
okay.
love classic Disney movies.
Okay.
So that could work. I'm trying to look because I have a lot of Funko
I would
Pops
like
in
an
my room.
aliens show, but if they're gonna do it right, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
So does it have to like go to Hulu? Can't be Disney Plus. It's got to like go to Hulu. I mean, well, all right. Let's consider the fact that now
mm-hmm.
the Netflix Marvel shows are
Pauly
on
Shore.
Disney Plus,
Yeah.
and they have
Oh yeah.
the you know what I mean. Like you can lock it for kids to
Mm-hmm.
not be able to watch it. So like if we were talking an aliens, because I actually think an alien show
Yeah.
could be pretty dope if they did it like Daredevil. Like if they just
Yeah. You got come on.
That would work.
You gotta make it violent. Like it is what it is. You know what I mean?
aliens, it needs to
So
happen.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So that's I think my number one thing I'm thinking right now. An aliens show would be fire.
You wouldn't
Or
want
just
it to
done
be
right.
like a limited series, like one standalone series, or like seasons.
Ooh. It depends on what they want to do with the universe. I'm down.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if
with
they try to
the
do like an
plot.
expanded universe thing.
Yeah.
I'm down for like a series focused on this and another series focused on that. Like I'm completely down for opening all that up and really exploring it.
Okay.
Oh,
Killer said
Wiccan and
because we're talking about
okay,
Pride, a Wiccan and a Hulking show. Those could
that'd be
both be
great.
dope.
That'd be cool.
You're
I'm
right
down for
here.
that.
Gargoyles joint would be that. That would be tough.
Oh yeah.
Like that's like
Yeah, they better not mess it up too.
They got to
Gargoyles
bring
one of
back
my
Keith
favorite
David to
So
do the
cool.
voice of Goliath. Keith David got to do the voice of
What
Goliath.
he has to do Goliath.
Yes, you can't.
Keith
do
David
anything.
has to be Goliath. If
Yeah.
they didn't cast him, it's over. Like I'm not even watching.
Yeah, I'd
Just
be
like
so.
without having Optimus Prime's voice right. Like it wouldn't.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't work for me. All right, y'all keep the ideas coming. Check this out. Getting ready to ruin some things for some people. I'm pretty sure. If you haven't watched the season finale of Obi-Wan,
God.
it might be time to get low. I'm just
Get out
gonna
of the chat.
you know.
I
You
ain't
right,
watching.
Steve. If they ain't got keys, can't watch it. He got to be in it.
Sure.
I want to talk about Obi-Wan. All right, now.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, because necessary. Here we go.
It's okay. It's okay. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Steve, no.
Yeah.
All right, look. This what I want to do.
So I wish I was on here now. Next time, you gotta get Voodoo on the show.
Put these in order from worst to best. Okay.
Okay.
Mando season 1.
Okay.
Mando season 2.
Okay.
Obi-Wan. Book of Boba Fett.
Okay.
What's the order?
From best to worst?
No, from worst to best. Start with the worst.
Oh, then the way you worded, we're gonna run it backwards. So Boba Fett was the worst. Then it's
Okay.
I agree.
Then it's Obi-Wan.
Okay.
Then it's Mando season 2, Mando season 1.
Okay. Shady, you agree with that?
I think the worst is Book of Boba Fett. I watched it, but it was a struggle watching like the first 2 episodes.
Hey, listen, I don't know if that's a typo or not. The fact that Heather wrote Bobo, I love it. I like that better. Straight up.
I love Baby Yoda when Baby Yoda like came and like they had Luke and Ahsoka, everyone. I would say Book of Boba Fett. Then oh gosh, I loved Obi-Wan too. Obi-Wan and Mandalorian season 2, they were both like really good. I also love season 1 of Mandalorian. So I'll just say Book of Boba Fett, season 2 of Mandalorian, season 1 of Mandalorian, and then Obi-Wan. Because
Obi-Wan is your favorite out of all of them.
because I love the the dynamic of Obi-Wan and also Darth Vader, because I also like Anakin Skywalker and
man
those movies.
Oof.
How about you?
Oh, I thoroughly. That's pretty much what Sin said.
Okay.
Boba Fett's saving grace is Mando.
Yes.
Like there are 2 episodes of Boba Fett that are incredible because they're really just episodes of Mandalorian, and they
Mando season 3. That's it. It's Mando season 3.
They just snuck them joints in there. All right, so hold on. So Heather said Bobo, which I like. Bobo, Kenobi, Mando 1, Mando 2. And Kidlin said Bobo is accurate, and I agree. Steve said number 1 is Kenobi, number 2 is Mando, season 2, Mando season 2.0. 3 is Mando, and 4 is Boba.
Oh gosh.
Are Mando and Boba intertwined? Yes.
They've appeared in each other's shows. So
yeah, they are intertwined, Kidlit. Anthony just said yes. Like just yes. All right, so Boba Fett, I think, was a serious letdown.
Yes.
Agreed. Yes.
Kenobi is a story I wanted in a way I didn't like. Like I just think there are a lot of issues with Obi-Wan that kept me from truly enjoying it. I have a lot of issues. I think overall that show is like a 6, maybe a 7. Yeah, Heather said Kenobi was a 3-hour show and 63 episodes.
Oh, that's funny.
That's about right. I man, here's what I'm gonna say. I've said on the show before. I have been waiting for Disney has in front of them this incredible opportunity to actually make Jedi cool.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I say cool again. Because there was a time, like when I was a kid, Jedi were like the coolest thing. Like, period. But when I look back on it, it's like now if you go back and you watch the old ones, like they're not cool. And people hate the prequel trilogy, but the prequel trilogy has the coolest Jedis in it. If you're not talking, I mean, as far as the movies are concerned, right? Because there's good stuff in like Rebels and there's good stuff in Clone Wars. But like as far as the movies are concerned, like the best Jedis and Jedi activity and the coolest Jedis ever were was in the prequel trilogy, which people act like they can't stand. The sequel trilogy has probably the worst fight scene in a Star Wars movie that is recent. Like it's real bad. What's up, Alfonso?
Which fight scene?
The fight scene with Rey and Kylo in the room after he kills what's the name? And they fighting all the like it's bad, bro. Like they fighting all the
in the red.
It's terrible.
I gotta go back and rewatch that.
So here's what I want you to do,
Sam. I don't remember being that bad. I gotta go back and rewatch it.
This is what I'm gonna have you do. Bro. This is what I want you to do. Don't watch the movie. Just watch that scene. Don't watch the movie.
YouTube it.
You'll be wasting your time. Just watch that scene. And how many times have you seen that scene, Sam?
Well, I'm not a fan of the new joints. I saw them each once.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
there are some things that happen in that scene that are so inconsistent and like there's literally just dudes standing in the background going like this. My turn. It's really bad. But on this precipice of like what they have in front of them, there's this opportunity for them to make Jedi. What?
I went to YouTube. I thought I was typing Last Jedi.
Yeah, you got two of the biggest Star Wars fans.
Bad choreography was the first thing that popped up, and it was that scene. Like, apparently that was way worse than I thought.
Oh God,
that's bad, bro. All right, so listen, we got to jump out here and grab some of these. So let me go back a little bit. Steve said my only beef with Kenobi is how long it took to find out Vader was alive. All right, this is what I need you to do, Steve. I need you to go on your Spotify, and I need you to search Spoiler Boys, a Loading Snacks podcast. And I just want you to listen to me talk about how dumb that show is for
6 episodes.
For 6 episodes. For 6 hours.
I'm not gonna lie. By the end of it, sure, I can say, it's okay. I had fun. I definitely had fun watching it, whether we were seeing stuff like, hold up, that doesn't make any sense right there.
There's so much stuff.
It's plenty of stuff like that.
Yeah. Cuddy said, not covered in Spoiler Boys, but a problem I think was too many cooks. Different directors per episode. MCU did the Disney Plus shows, great development characters. Star Wars shows minus Mando failed to do that. Jason Top Marino said Book of Boba Fett would have been a 6 out of 10, but I gave it a 7 because Luke, Grogu, so could save it. All right.
Oh man, that was strong.
You got
two episodes saving that show.
You got two Star Wars fans in here. You have Jason and Steve.
Steve said that's the best
every time we watch Star Wars, they have something to say. So you need to interview both of them.
I'm all about that though. Yeah, look, my man said a lot of the Red Guards died dumb. There's a one that just dropped to his knees so Kylo could cut his head off. Like, it's bad. Like, Sin, it's a bad scene, bro. Like, it's really, really bad. Dave Robert Dean said, I think the saber fights in the prequels stink because they were too choreographed, which makes the fights in the OG seem slow. Sequels were under choreographed, base overall scene, ironically. So let me do this. Let me try to help put into perspective where we are with something like as incredible as Star Wars. We live in a world now where live action can be as incredible as animation because we have the capability. Like, we have computer tech has made it so that, like, if you just watch anything that happens in any MCU film, we can make incredible things happen, right? If you have a fight like the fight that happened in Obi-Wan between Vader and Obi-Wan, mentally, it's almost impossible not to compare it to any. Listen, any fight throughout the entire run of the Avatar, Last Airbender and Korra, all of them fights cook everything that's happened in Star Wars in the last 10 years. Easy. On a fight per fight basis, right? We're talking about controlling wind, controlling fire. Like, controlling wind is basically force powers. Like, it's just the things that you can do in animation. Like, we're at a point now where people are talking about, I know you hate Superman Sin, so do I, but I need to use this as a moment. Like, people are talking about actually being able to really see what Superman is capable of in live action, because we can actually put it on screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So seeing what the Hulk can actually do, the kind of destruction that actually makes sense. Right. Ahsoka versus Maul.
Yeah, that was fire.
Listen, was fire because they motion captured it.
No, I think it was Clone Wars, the one you're talking about.
Clone Wars, yeah.
Yeah, Clone Wars.
It was mocap. It was choreographed and it was mocapped. And it's probably the best fight in the series because of that. It flows way better. It makes so much sense. We're not getting that. What?
Which fight was better, that one or Mace versus Grievous?
Stop. Listen. Mace and Grievous wasn't really a fight.
That was an ass whooping.
Listen. Look. Mace taking on the entire droid army by himself.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What? Dog, that joint was incredible, dog. It's incredible what that dude was doing. Like, just the way he moved. Like, we're not getting any of that. And that's the downside. You know what I'm saying? Of trying to really bring that up. Listen, Maul Kenobi Qui-Gon in episode 1 is a great fight.
That was clean. Yeah.
Chalk that up to Ray Park. Guess what else? Ray Park also choreographed the Ahsoka Maul fight from Clone Wars. He motion captured that. There's something to be said for that, for what that is. So we're not getting that. Like, I feel like there are directors who don't know how to shoot action, who don't know how to edit for action, who don't know how to give it to us and put it on screen in ways that make it make sense for us so that we get what it is we're actually looking for. Like, yes, you can just say, all right, you guys are going to fight. Here's what happens. Yes, there's some choreography, but we're going to let, the effects team handle, making it look cool, or whatever. You still have to shoot it so it looks cool. You still have to write it so that the fights make sense. Like, the fights don't make sense. And so it doesn't hold up. And so the cool that is Jedis, their powers and their weapons, we haven't gotten that. Real, like, outside of animation, in live action, we haven't gotten that since the prequel trilogy.
Right.
And so I think it hurts. I really think it hurts us. I think
Ashoka has a good chance to put us on that right path. I think she has a good chance to put us on that path.
I hope so too. It looks good.
Especially since she doesn't necessarily is following the path of the Jedi now. You know what I mean? She doesn't have to be so reserved, all that kind of stuff. She can actually, get it in.
Listen. Hey, Steve, bro, listen. You about to look.
Steve, you trying to have us here for 3 hours, Steve.
And we about to be best friends, bro. Let me tell you something. Boy, I talk all the time about how I don't hate the Nolan trilogy. I just think they're okay. And they're okay because Nolan is a great director for storytelling, for acting, and for setting up great shots, but he doesn't know how to shoot action. And he'll hire a team to take care of that, but then he doesn't trust them to do it. And so he wants too much control. So, like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And so it just looks like a bunch of, like, quick kind of elbows. Like, it's like going back to the Bourne Identity. Which is like, how do we make it look like this man who can't really fight? How do we make it look like he can fight? You know what I mean?
The camera.
And just show elbows. Like, most of the time when you watch those fights, they're like not even in sync. Like, they're not even centered on camera. They're like partially off the screen. you know, again, it's a different style and it works in some ways, but exactly, always zoomed in. So you can't tell what's going on. And they do things,
GoPro.
they break the 180 rule consistently, which is like when you're watching a fight scene, um, like if you have two people fighting and one of them was on the left side of the screen and one of them was on the right side of the screen, and you need to cut to another shot where they're now on the opposite side, you need a cut in between. Like you're never supposed to break that line where the camera now is on the other side of the two of them, because it makes it harder for the viewer to follow the action, right? And so the the best way to do that is to zero in on a particular attack and then show that attack from a different angle, and then you cut to the other side instead of just swapping back and forth. If you want to, you have to watch like
They got to
great.
go back and look old school martial arts films.
Watch Ip Man.
Yeah,
You don't even
yeah,
have to be that old school.
yeah.
Watch Ip Man. Watch how when he's in the middle of a fight and they show him on one side and somebody on the other, it does switch to the opposite side. But like if he does an attack that say puts a foe on the ground and then he goes to attack him on the ground, they will then show an overhead shot of him attacking him on the ground, and then they'll cut to a shot where he's on the other side. So it makes it easier for the viewer to follow what's happening. And you completely understand as they're doing it. That is how you tell a story in fight choreography. It's you know, it's tricky. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
right. And you're right, Eric, they do that so that you can't see stuntmen. But like now, they can do face replacements like real easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do it all the time. They
The
do face
technology is
replacements
here
all the
now.
time.
Like it's the technology is here now to make it work. So
Yeah.
don't be lazy with it. You know what I'm saying? Go all the way with it.
Go, yeah. You have to take all the steps to do it. And so right now, like my concern, like I'm really hopeful for Ahsoka. Because Ahsoka she's a badass, and they need to show that she can do some things, right?
Oh, Jason the Raid fired. Yeah, you ain't gotta tell us.
Straight up,
Fire.
the Raid, anything Tony Jaa does,
Yeah.
right? Like, they sell it. It's kind of what it is. Yeah, I think they have this potential that right now they're missing, but I think if they do this right, there's an opportunity for them to introduce, especially with them like focusing on like the High Republic. There's an opportunity for them to introduce new Jedi that we've never heard of, that can do things and have abilities that we've never seen, and make them really, really cool. If they actually focus on the storytelling can't just be about the story of this character getting from A to B. The storytelling has to happen throughout the entire thing. So if you're fighting, why are you fighting? Why are you using this move against this move? And how do we show that to the viewer? And they just tend not to do that really well. So yeah. Man, I'm hopeful. But yeah, like if you really want to see great fights, watch everything in animated Avatar. All of them. Like even if you throw out the story and just watch the fights in Avatar and in Korra, then you probably want to watch the show. They're that good. And I think they're some of the best choreographed fights we've seen in the last 15 years. Easy.
Yeah, they're up there. They're definitely up there.
All right, Avatar. Hey, look, we can wrap the show up. So a couple of things I want to do. First, I want to start by thanking Shady for coming and hanging out with us. Please make sure you go follow Shady. I'm gonna grab your Beacons link again and put it in there for everybody.
There you go.
Shady Haze.
Woo. Yeah, man.
Can we just add like the Incredible to the front of all your
Incredible
social media?
The Incredible.
Works
Can
for
you
me.
be the Incredible?
I feel like I'm a magician.
Shady Haze, I think that'll be dope. Hef, I appreciate you, man. I said hit that like button. I definitely appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah, straight up.
Hit that
Shady
like
Squad
like, subscribe.
in the building. Hey, look, if y'all don't know, look. So here's one of the things we like to do here, man. We are a community and we are community building. Here's what I want you to understand. some of you are watching us on Twitch, some of you on YouTube, some of y'all on Facebook. Wherever you are watching us, look at the people who are in the chat. Almost everybody in the chat is a creator of some sort. They're cosplayers. They have their own shows. They're photographers. Please follow each other. Be a part of this community. That's part of why we do what we do, is we want to continue to build this community. So yes, hit Shady's Beacons link and make sure you follow her across the board. That'll take you to the Shady
Follow
Squad, and
everybody.
that will get you to a percentage of the people who are in the show right now.
Yeah, Jason.
For sure.
Jason.
So please definitely do that. Hef has a great show. I was fortunate enough to be on Hef's show not too long ago. Hef, y'all go live on Sunday nights on Facebook around 9 o'clock. Usually that's the All Dressed Up podcast.
Okay.
Hef and the homie K Dizzle.
Yeah.
Y'all check them out. Shady, look, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for coming
Yes,
and
thank you for having
talking
me
to us
here.
about your experience, talking to us about Pride, and what it means.
Yes.
Definitely make sure that you holler at us when you're ready to do. Honestly, when you're ready to do whatever, but definitely when
Anything.
you're.
I'll let you guys know. I'll let
You
you
know,
guys
Definitely.
know for all of it.
yeah, we're all in. We will support you 100%. Anything we can do, we will do. Sin,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna post this link, and then I'm gonna have you do your job. You about to do your job. You about to do your job. But look, this is our Beacons link. Again, some of you are on Twitter, some of you are on Facebook, some of you are on YouTube. We have one of all of those and a TikTok and so forth. If you hit our Beacons link, that makes it easy to follow us across the board. We do have a section on our Beacons that is friends of ours, friends of the show. Shady is already there. So if for some reason you missed her Beacons link, if you go to ours, you can get to her Beacons from there and follow her across the board. If you go to that section, you will see people who have been on the show and hung out with us and done this. We greatly appreciate you. Make sure that if you are not just you're not just following us, but we have an MCU chat on Facebook. We have an anime chat on Facebook. We have a wrestling chat on Facebook. We have a movie club, Loading Stacks Movie Club on Facebook. Please feel free to jump in and join any of those. A lot of them are locked. Generally speaking, we're gonna let you in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't seem like you're a bot. If you didn't just join Facebook today, chances are, you know what I'm saying? We'll let you in. But we have a lot of places where we try to build community in other spots besides this, and we know that we have offshoots of people who like other things. You can't do all of it in just one place. So, send on that note, right? Talk to me about what's happening in the anime chat, real quick.
Well, this week we are running. We've been watching a race every Thursday at 8 o'clock. We are doing the finale. We're doing the last 3 episodes in the Discord in our Thriller Park channel. I have my predictions of who I think the killer is. Jokes has his prediction of who he thinks the killer is, and the way the other admins are reacting to our picks, I'm not sure how right we are or how wrong we are with the picks because they have seen it, we haven't. But this has been. Shady, I know you're in the anime too. If you have not seen a race right now, I highly recommend it. It is a thriller.
I haven't. Okay.
Yeah, it's a thriller.
I'll get into it. Yeah, that's fine.
It's
on Crunchy.
It is really. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but it's really good, and we're down to the wire picking who the killer is, and we have a blast in there. Even if you don't watch anime, I'm telling you, if you come in there and just sit and watch us, we will have you dying laughing.
And listen, again, it's really cool that we have a pretty decent following in the anime chat. If you go there again, you can from our Beacons link, you can join our Discord, and from the Discord, if you just jump in the Discord, that's where we're watching. Watching shows like Erase that's happening every Thursday at 8.
Yep, and we'll announce whatever we'll announce our next show because this is the finale. We'll announce that right after that, so y'all know what we're watching next.
So again, stuff like that is stuff that we're happening. Anime Vault, which is something that Sin is hosting, where he goes back and watches animes from his past, kind of rewatches them and talks about whether or not they're worth going back and rewatching. So we have a new season of Anime Vault that's coming out in August. Leading up to that, every Thursday we are redropping episodes from last season's Anime Vault. So make sure y'all check that out. That's hitting on our Facebook every Thursday. So please take a look at that. MCU chat. Here's something important that I want to point out about the MCU chat. We always create a space in MCU chat when a new movie drops, like Thor's getting ready to drop, like next week. We always create a space there that is specifically for spoilers. So if you have seen the movie and you want a safe place to go where you can talk about it with other people, what happened, what you think things mean, what have you, there is a place to go. So join the MCU chat, and then you can find it. We always pin it to the top, whatever the new movie is. We always pin it to the top. You can jump into that discussion, and that way you don't have to worry about spoiling it for someone else. Okay? Speaking of spoilers, we also have a show called Spoiler Boys, where we do just that.
Boys.
That's it. We spoil things for people. Like Spoiler Boys is our 3-man tag team title.
Triple threat.
Yeah, that's our triple threat. You know what I mean? We just come down, we grab dudes, we pin them, and then we tell them the end of a movie or something like that. Like that's our finisher.
That's the greatest finishing move ever.
Straight up. But nah, Spoiler Boys. Generally speaking, Spoiler Boys only gets posted initially just in our Patreon, but the audio version, and there's a video version if you have Spotify, does go up. So we do podcasts and put that out. So anytime something like a show, so we just wrapped up Obi-Wan. So there's an episode for each one of those, and we are currently in the middle of Miss Marvel. Right, so episode 4 comes out tomorrow. We drop Spoiler Boys the Monday after the episode drops. So Miss Marvel drops tomorrow. We'll watch it, we'll record it, and it'll drop next Monday. So you'll be able to go and check that out too. So like I said, we're staying pretty busy. Next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, we have BlurCon. We will be there pressing. I don't know if we're paneling yet. We haven't. We're still waiting to hear back on that. But we will definitely be there. So if you are at BlurCon and you see us, walk up, say what's up, say hi, tell us you saw us somewhere, you know us from, whatever.
Duck fan will be in the building.
Straight up. We'll be happy to be there. We also have a wrestling show called The Finisher. From our wrestling chat, we got merch, we got shirts. It's a logo. So again, from our Beacons link, you can check out our merch site.
We actually had a ball the other night watching the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
We had a ball. A bunch of us was in there watching it. That was kind of fun.
Watching the pay-per-view. So yeah, we did some predictions and got all that kind of stuff prepped out. So again, if you're into wrestling, we got a spot for that too. Now, having said that, Sin, you have a job to do.
Yes, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, and Meticulous Skin. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
We most certainly do. We're going to wrap this one up. One more time, I want to thank you, Shady, for hanging out with us. I want to thank everybody who was in the chat for hanging out with us and being so active and typing typing to us.
Yes, you do, Steve.
Listen. Steve, jump into that wrestling.
He loves wrestling and Star Wars. Get him on there.
Yeah, I saw him say we need to start a Star Wars chat. You know what? I'm not opposed, Steve. Well, let's talk. You know what I mean? Shoot me a DM. Let's talk about making something like that happen. So look, we're gonna wrap this one up. Again, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. For myself, for Sin, and for Shady, I will leave you with this. Just because you have a well thought out plan doesn't make it a good idea. With that, we're out. Toodles and lose.